Hello, my name is Nazerine. I'm Senior Pathway Leader of A-Levels and I'm also Pathway Leader for STEM.
And my name is Shelan and I'm the Senior Pathway Leader for Vocational Courses and T-Level courses, and I'm the Pathway Leader for Healthcare Science. Okay, so for revision, one thing I'll say with flashcards, at this point in January, that's a good time to definitely start. But let's say, for example, you write notes on one side from your class notes, and then on the other side you have to create questions that will lead to the answers on the other side. One big error that people make with flashcards is they just always keep them in the same order. So I would say remove that kind of mindset from your mind, and what you'll need to do is have a pile of the ones that you struggle with and a pile of the ones that you find easy to remember. Always start with the ones you struggle with first, and then you'll start to get easier, like that will become easier as time goes on. And then another one is?
Yes, a really great technique actually that gets you to stop procrastinating and get on with your revision is the Pomodoro technique. So it's like half an hour on, half an hour on another concept. So I'll give you, for example, the first topic, for example, that you need to go over, and you need to make sure that you're retaining all that knowledge. Just take 25 minutes of your time to either go over with what Shelan just said, using the flashcards and just going through all the content, and then just giving yourself a 5-minute breakout. So just space it out and just kind of take a break, have a snack, do what you need to do. And then eventually what you'll do is your brain will set itself to think that 25 minutes was not enough time to go over that topic. See, when we think about revision, we think, oh my God, we're going to take hours for this, but that doesn't have to be the case. What you could do is whittle it down to 25 minutes on revision, and then 5 minutes break, and then 25 minutes back on again. And then you will see gradually you train your mind into staying focused. And that is a bit of a life skill that we all really need as well.
Yeah. Another technique as well that you can have is a scribbler technique. So what you'll do is you'll have, let's say, 2 pages of notes in front of you for a specific subject. You're then going to read over those notes. Once you think you've fully mastered it, you fully know that content, put those sheets away. And then what you'll do is you'll write down from the top of your head everything you remember about that topic. You may even decide to leave blank lines where you cannot remember a particular keyword, for example. After you think you've absolutely remembered everything you can, then is the only time that you're allowed to look back at your notes, take a different color pen and write down in the different color pens any parts that you couldn't fill in initially by yourself. Review that in a few days' time, because it's all about spaced learning. Like, you need to review the content again and again, similar to what Nazerine said in that Pomodoro technique.
And I think just to solidify everything, revision is about deeper learning. So not this whole shallow standard stuff. But the final one for me is the Feynman technique. And they go through a 4-step process in identifying gaps in your knowledge. Okay, so the first thing is you're going to identify the gaps in your knowledge. Just exactly like Shelan said about the scribbling technique, you look at, with that different color pen, where your gaps are. Then what you'll do is make sure that you identify the specialist terminology. See, examiners love a lot of vocabulary, especially when it's specific to your subject of choice. So make sure that you're highlighting the key terms that are required for your answers. Thirdly, teach it. Just like us, we're confident with our knowledge only because we can teach it to students. Make it sure that the content that you're trying to revise is quite simple and self-explanatory when you are talking to perhaps someone younger than you. So use a sibling, or in fact, you could even use a cousin or a parent and explain the content to them and see whether or not they can also understand it. And then finally, exam questions. Okay, the best way to make sure that you know it's all been solidified is making sure you answer exam questions and then look over your response, check it with a mark scheme, and so that make sure all those techniques that have come to use, and then you'll feel confident for the exam.